All right. Wonder where you're. Okay, I'm gonna pull up the Skype window. Whee! Here you are. Just gotta drag you bigger. There we go. In the middle. Yay! Okay, so we are live. Sounds a go. Are we ready?
Yep.
Yeah, let's do this.
Smoothly, so we insight into a professional musician's life and also new music.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Musician Today. We have one of our amazing guests back, Chloe Trevor. Yay! And today's a special episode because we've already had Chloe on the show, so you already know her history, that she's an amazing performing artist, she's an award-winning concert violinist, she has built her own music camp at Chloe Trevor, was it Music Academy? Wait a minute. Chloe Trevor Music Academy. And she's had an amazing season so far at the camp. Now we have something new to share with you. Today is going to be all about her new projects. It's going to be about her beautiful Christmas CD with 92 keys and an awesome Halloween contest for you guys. The contest is basically that we are trying to get one of Chloe's videos to 1 million views by Halloween, and it's the song that you all have seen and you love it. It's Danse Macabre. It's the Halloween song. It's the epic Halloween song. So you have to go ahead to her YouTube, find Chloe and look up Danse Macabre and go ahead, like it and share it with your friends. So if we win this, we all win something. We basically have won the Halloween if we're doing this.
Yeah, we win Halloween.
Yay! Okay, so again, before we go on, I'm gonna just give you a little breakdown that you can find Chloe on her Instagram, which is originally where I met Chloe 4 or 5 years ago. You can find her on Chloe Trevor Violin. You can find her on Facebook at Chloe Trevor Violin. You can find her on YouTube at Unicorn Stars. And you can find...
You can Chloe Trevor.
Yeah, you can just look up Chloe Trevor. Oh my God, we have Himiko.
If you put youtube.com/Chloe Trevor, it'll still come up.
Yes, amazing. Okay, hello. I love it how you both have red accents in your hair.
I know, right?
Amazing. Okay, and you can also find Chloe on her website at chloetrevor.com, and all of the links to download and pre-save her upcoming album that you're gonna hear a little teaser from today. It's a Christmas album that is just super awesome, and you guys are gonna hear 2 songs today, so I'm excited to share them. All right, Chloe, welcome back. How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Yay!
To be here.
Awesome. Okay. So, congratulations on your residency in California. Are you excited to go and see them?
Yeah, it's like going there my first leg of the residency this week at Riverside, California University in California. And I'm going to be teaching private lessons, master classes, doing outreach, the city education programs.
Amazing.
With the orchestra.
Yay. Okay. So, I guess you're driving out soon, eh?
Yeah.
All right. So, and because we are all about holidays today, can you tell us though, is there like a certain process to getting a residency or finding a residency or like applying to residency? Like, how did you come out to be a resident artist? Is there a story behind it?
Well, in the music world, as most things are, kind of about connections and stuff, which is what I tell students and people, like, the most important thing about being in college is making sure that you make people, because people that are going to help you here, that you're collaborating with, working with. So don't just go to college to practice and get straight A's and stuff. Yes, do that. Emphasis on making connections with people, which is what I didn't do for my grad, and I really although I still made an impression on people, like with my concerts, but I feel bad that people, kind of connected to me, but I didn't reciprocate necessarily. So they're kind of awkward feeling that I don't like. I worked a lot harder at making connections and friendships in my master's, which has been good. But this is an example of that because I this residency through my good friend Dean Moon, who's a conductor,
Nice.
and who I actually got to know him also through other people that knew me, knew of me, knew about me, and a few years ago he was looking for a violin soloist to play with his orchestra in East Texas, and he asked a bunch of people and they all gave him my name because he was asking for not only a good musician but someone that that they felt was like a good person that represented his kind of morals and ethics and things like that, someone that get along with and stuff, and we really connected on a lot of those levels. So we played that first concert together, and then we played a couple of other concerts together, and then he helped me get a venue for the Chloe Trevor Music Academy.
Yay.
And I had him both years at the Academy as one of our conductors, and when he started teaching at California Baptist, he was basically building he's building up the orchestra program, kind of from the ground up a bit. So he's getting to choose, who he wants to bring in from various places. And he and the head of the music department and people have been asking me if I would be interested in coming there to teach in some capacity. So they actually invited me to come do this residency, and we'll see how that goes this year and how it expands over the next couple of years, because I think they want me to be there probably more than just 4 weeks out of the year, and we'll see how that kind of goes, this year into next. But again, it's just working hard, being kind to people, making connections, fostering those connections. Don't just play a concert with someone and let it go. Keep in touch. Just be genuine and everything, and that's kind of how it came about for me. So
amazing. Well, it's no surprise. We all love what you do, and you have such a powerful connection with people. Even we only met at our podcast, but I feel like we've known each other for a long, long time. And if it wasn't for Chloe's videos, guys, I probably would still think that Instagram is just for showing your puppy photos and food.
There's some pretty awesome puppy accounts, where it does pictures of puppies, and those still rock. But yes, I know what you mean.
Awesome. Okay, why don't we have a listen to a little teaser from Chloe's upcoming CD, which you guys can actually pre-save on Spotify. So it's called 92 Keys Christmas, right? Yes, and the cover is beautiful. I'll be sharing it later today. So here we go. Here's Joy to the World. awesome. It's so magical.
No, thanks.
So how did you guys record this? Do you actually have a full orchestra? And it's all live recording?
There was a full orchestra. You want to know all of the secrets behind
Well, maybe
some,
just to give us like a taste, yeah.
Well, the parts are, because of miking and everything, the parts are actually recorded separately.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
My part is recorded individually. I did all the recording for the CD within, I want to say 3 days.
Wow.
It was 3 total days of recording, which was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And then the orchestra recorded in 2 parts, strings and the winds and brass. So like in the morning the strings came and did everything. In the afternoon the winds and brass came and did everything. So it's a little weird to like think that it is actually put together that way, but it sounds still really good, which is neat, you know, because
it sounds very live.
Like we record my part and then the conductor has his part in my part in his ear, so that when he's conducting it makes sense with what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah.
It was a really intense, crazy process, and we also actually recorded, we filmed 2 music videos that I think one of them is gonna, what date? I think one of them is gonna be released this week.
So October 25th?
I need to find out if it's before the 25th. I should have, actually, you know what, let me ask him really quick. So
just follow Chloe on YouTube and you won't miss it. Ring the bell, you'll get notified when it comes live. I'm going to do that.
I know, right?
Can't wait. It was so beautiful looking at your Instagram stories.
I'm really excited for the videos. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I've seen them, obviously, and I'm really excited about them. Like,
it seems really magical. Cool. Yeah.
They're going to be amazing.
By the way, I'm happy with the cover that you chose. I know there was like a voting process. I like that one too.
You know what's funny about the cover a little bit? The dress that I'm wearing in the cover was given to me by an Instagram friend.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Yeah. Do you know Green Case Girl on Instagram?
I've seen her. Yeah.
Yeah. So she actually just sent me that dress.
Oh, wow.
She was like, she asked me, she's like, I think this will fit you and I don't wear it anymore. Do you want it? And I was like, yes. And it's this amazing, like, teal green dress, obviously Green Case Girl, you know, and I love that color. And so when we were doing the music videos and photo shoots and stuff, I just brought like an assortment of 6 dresses or something, and that was one of the ones we tried. And we just thought it like worked really well for that cover shot. And so I'm like, oh, and it has like an Instagram connection because it's from Green Case, which I thought was really cool because it just kind of ties in with the whole you know, kind of mission on Instagram and social media and everything of just like being really inclusive and everything. So I thought that was neat.
Amazing. Such a cute treat, eh? So there you go, guys. Keep in touch with your Instagram friends. You never know what you're gonna get next. Maybe they'll send you a dress or like a mermaid tail or something. You know?
I want to say, I know you already mentioned about the pre-saves, but I just want to like also emphasize we are trying to get to 1,000 pre-saves by October 25th.
Yeah.
And we are around in the high 700s right now, so we're almost there.
That's pretty
close. Kind of like me with my Danse Macabre video, trying to get
we're close
million and high 700,000, you know? It's kind of simple. Yeah, we need to get to 1,000 because the launch day is actually super important on Spotify. Like, if there are a ton of pre-saves and a ton of people listen within the first 24 hours, it just, like, sends, like, crazy magic out into the Spotify algorithm and the Apple Music algorithm and everything. So, like, please pre-save the album.
Can they find it on your website? ChloeTrevor.com?
Go to the 92 Keys website.
Okay. Go to 92 Keys, guys. Pre-save the album. It's going to be amazing. Let's make the magic happen this season.
And you don't have to do anything except, like,
pre-save.
Just click the button.
Yeah.
And I think you have to, like, log into Spotify.
Yeah, I think I did that. I'll check if I did.
there's an API call that has you log in, but it's totally safe. Like, I know some people look at it and they're like, what is this thing that's asking me to log in? It's literally, it's fine. It's just log into your Spotify, and then it just, like, that's, you have to do that so that it can, like, pre-save it for you. But it's really easy.
Amazing.
So please do that.
Yes, go ahead, guys, do that. Just tell us that you want it. That's it. Yes. Awesome. So, and don't forget to go ahead and like Danse Macabre video on YouTube, right? So the date's coming up. Halloween is in 2 weeks. I think we can get like a couple 100,000 in there in 2 weeks. What do you guys think? Let's do it. Yes. Share it with your friends.
I think it's totally doable. That's the thing. It's just getting the reach out there. You know, we've been, like, if you want to know the numbers, we're averaging about 5,000 views a day.
That's great.
The problem is we need 20.
Go, guys. Go ahead, because share it, like it.
11 days left, and we need just over 200,000 views, which is about 20 to 21,000 views on the video a day. I think it's totally doable if everyone kind of like is proactive and just takes 3 minutes to send an email blast to their friends, or to post about it on Facebook or Twitter or somewhere that you can share the actual link. So if you go to my Instagram profile and click on the link in my profile, that will take you to the video. Just copy the link and send it to everyone you know. Yay. And I really think, like, the power of numbers, you know, exponential numbers, if one person sends it to 5, those 5 people send it to 5, like, we can get there fast as long as just take like 1 to 2 minutes to do that. And
I think we can. So I sent it like to 2,000 of my email list already. So hopefully people will pass it on.
It's going to be the 4-year anniversary of uploading the video.
Amazing.
So that's kind of why it's like it's kind of special to me, because honestly, the posting of that video was kind of the beginning of my whole Instagram, social media career. And so it kind of like just ignited this flame that went kind of crazy. And I was like, whoa, I didn't expect this response, you know? It's gotten me a lot of concerts, a lot of attention. And I just thought, you know, it's always good to have goals for things and try to like see what kind of community you can draw together and support each other. And I was like, man, you know, I have enough followers that if just every single one of them watched the video twice, we'd be done.
That'd be it. I know.
So, like, let's look at the power of numbers here and like see what's possible. And I was just curious to see if it would be possible to get there. It's a big goal. Like, it's pretty intense. I'm asking for a lot, I think, but I totally think that it's doable. So I'm just putting an appeal out there to anyone. If you want to watch a cool video, listen to a good Halloween piece, and watch some ballet, and watch some good cinematography, and share it with your friends.
You know what I find curious? The dancer in it kind of looks like you.
Yeah. I almost did the dancing myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was. If we'd had more time to put it together, I probably would have.
Nice.
Because I did ballet for like 15 years, and I was really serious with it, which is the reason I wanted to put a dancer in the video. And it's funny, like, I don't think I haven't told you the story of how that video came together, did I?
I don't think you did. No, last time, no.
So, the way that this video came about was really random. Even the recording itself was random. So what happened was Jonathan and I were playing concerts together, and we had put together this Halloween recital where we'd kind of put together this skit with costumes and all these different things, and we were like finding all of these Halloween pieces to play. And so there was a small event that we were supposed to play at in early October, and through a whole series of miscommunications, not on Jonathan's part, I don't know how to say, we missed it. We didn't miss it, though. I think it came like a day early or something. Like, they told us a day of the week, but it was the wrong day of the week. And and we came on that day of the week, but they actually, I don't know, it was something, I can't remember if it was a date or a day of the week, but they gave us wrong information.
Oh, wow.
So it's like we went there on Thursday at the time they asked when they actually want us to be there on Friday, and we're like, well, we're not available on Friday. Well, like, the whole thing just kind of, like, fell apart, and we were like, oh, man, but we already, like, got this whole program ready, and learned Danse Macabre and everything. And so, I think Jonathan had just recently gotten these new microphones, and so we were like, well, why don't we just, for fun, try recording it, because we already learned it, so why not? So we literally took an afternoon and just recorded Danse Macabre in his living room.
Nice.
His new mic. And we put it together, and we were like, you know what, it actually sounds kind of good.
It sounds amazing.
And I had been thinking about starting to do music videos for a while. I had put one together, I think, the year before, my Blessed Assurance video. That you may have seen, and that was kind of a similar thing where I just recorded something in a living room and put multiple parts together, and then went out and recorded at our Arboretum in Dallas and put that video together. So it was very like, I just want to start doing music videos, but I don't know how, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And so I had actually wanted to do more of them, but it wasn't happening. And then we were like, well, we have this recording, so we have no real excuse to not do a video, right? And so our friend, our mutual friend Oliver, was kind of dabbling in cinematography stuff. He's actually the one that recorded my Blessed Assurance too, but that was a year before, had like all new equipment and everything, which is a good video, but the Danse Macabre is definitely a lot better. And he was like, oh, well, I can record it for you if you have like an idea of what you want to do. And so I started brainstorming all of these things, and honestly, at first, all that we were going to do, I think we had gotten permission to use the chapel at the church where half of the video is actually recorded. And except we didn't use the chapel in the video. We used the garden outside of it. But we were going to use the chapel, and then all that we were going to do was just do a kind of funny video that was similar to our other funny skits, where we just took all of the Halloween costumes we had and then like kept changing them throughout the video. And that was going to be the whole thing.
Oh, nice.
But on two nights before we had decided to start filming, I was putting this together in my head, and one of the costumes that I had that I use for Halloween sometimes is one of my ballet outfits. And when I was imagining in my head the changing between costumes, I kept imagining that ballet costume, and in my mind, like me as the ballerina kept like going off stage and then starting to dance like separately, and I couldn't get that out of my head, and it kept going and going with this whole thing where it changed into a totally different storyline, and I couldn't make it stop, and I was just like, hey, I have this crazy idea now. Like I got in touch with Jonathan and Oliver and was like, you guys, I have this insane idea for a video, and it's actually amazing, but I have no idea how we're going to put it together. It's going to require a dancer, it's going to require multiple venues, and like all of this kind of different stuff happening. And so I was like, but they were both very supportive, and they were like, you have a fleshed out idea, we need to make this happen. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So I put out a deal on Facebook, and I just said, does anybody... and I was thinking like I could do the dancing myself, but then I was like, no, it's too crazy. It's already hard enough to put the whole thing together in like one day. So I put on Facebook a status. I've gotten a lot of help through Facebook status before, just like as an FYI. It's kind of amazing. I said, does anybody know a dancer who would be willing to be in a classical music video in like 36 hours? And
I love those last minute gigs.
Actually, you know, it's really funny who responded to me was my babysitter from when I was like 4 years old. But she was actually my mom's violin student at the time, and she also babysat me. So like there was this whole connection. And we're friends on Facebook, and she was like, oh, I know this girl Ivy that dances, and she goes to Dallas Baptist University. And I was like, oh man. So I reached out to her, and she was totally up for it. And I was like, are you serious? This is really, like, it's kind of crazy. And she's like, no, it sounds like a lot of fun. So we met like later that afternoon. I told her my whole vision for it. Mm-hmm. We talked about costumes and makeup and all of this. And then we got together the next day and filmed the video.
Nice. Well, you know what they say, all the genius ideas come to you like out of nowhere, right?
Oh, it was so crazy. And we ended up filming from like, I think 10 a.m. until like 9 p.m. at night. Mm-hmm. And so we did like the first half in the Black Box Theater where it's me and Jonathan playing. And then we went to my church and filmed the rest of it outside in the garden. And everything took a lot longer than it should have because we're all new at this and none of us do it like professionally, like the video part of it, you know? So we're like trying to figure out lighting and the generator's not working and the camera's not working, like all these things, like, and so many problems. You would not believe it. Was the most stressful thing ever. And we got it all recorded before we had to get out of the church by 9 o'clock, which was also stressful. And then we had like 10 days to edit and post the video, which was a new thing for me also because I'd never really edited a music video before. Yeah. And so Oliver was kind of like teaching me how to do it and everything, and I got more and more used to like the controls and how things worked and syncing up the audio and the video and all this and the different transitions and how stuff would work. It took so long. And I really wanted to have the video posted earlier than we did, but it just like was not happening. And then the last few days that we were trying to get it ready, it kept like not working when we exported the video. And we couldn't figure out why. Like we would export it and for some reason it would take like hours to export. And then once it was done, we watched it and there were like things wrong in the video, like black screens appearing out of nowhere or different stuff that was like, it wasn't correct. Yeah. And we were like, why is this happening? I don't understand. Like, why is this happening? It's so stressful. And we kept trying to fix stuff and like searching like why stuff was happening and re-editing everything and changing all of like the colorings and oh my gosh. Then we had like one more chance. It was like 3 a.m. On Halloween. Like, it was like October 31st, like midnight, you know, and then it got to 3 a.m. It was finally when I finished. And I was like sitting at Oliver's house, like with Jonathan. We were up there like fixing everything and like Oliver like on the bed. And we were just like, oh my gosh. Finally finished it, clicked export. And I was like, we just have to go and pray because I have no more control over this. Like, if this didn't work, then that's it. And so Oliver texted me in the morning and was like, it worked at like 9 a.m. And I was just like, are you serious? And so like he sent me like the file and everything and then I like got it all ready and I uploaded it. I don't remember, it was like 9:45 or something on Halloween morning and it worked. And that was like, I think one of those times, you know how like you get really stressed out like when you're like getting papers for school or something? That like, it was like that, but maybe worse. And I was like, am I going to be like the deadline and everything? It was so crazy. So I don't know why I'm doing this to myself now, being like, let's see if we can get to 1 million views by Halloween. It's kind of a similar thing.
Let's do it. Speaking of which, I feel like we now have to play Danse Macabre. And while we're playing, you guys have to go on Chloe's YouTube and like and share the video. Okay, I think we have a deal. You guys ready?
Share it on Twitter, share it
on everything.
Text your friends. Like, just copy the link and text it to your friends. I think that's
you know what else I do that I think works? I share your profile on Instagram in my stories and a little piece of a video. And a lot of people have been watching that. So go ahead, do that too, guys. Because the video is in your link. Yeah, it's in there. Yeah. So we got it. All right, here's Danse Macabre. Yay! That was beautiful. I love the crisp sound on your violin. And I realized it got darker in front, so I look like a creepy ghost. It's Halloween for us already. So yeah, that was beautiful. Every time I listen to it, I hear something new in it. And it's like this time I heard more of the bass. And when I listened to it on my phone the other day, I heard more something else. It's amazing how that comes through. So yeah, it's a great sound quality, even though it was in the living room.
No, it sounds amazing. Like we were really blown away. I mean, his condo has pretty good acoustics for like,
nice.
being in a recording studio or a church or something like that. His good friend, who's a recording engineer, mastered it for us, and it just like he really did a great job with it. So it was pretty fantastic. I was happy putting that together.
Yay! Amazing. So, I wonder how, like, what would be your process on putting together generally a piece of music? Like, if you're recording something existing, right? So, what would be the biggest challenge when you are recording this kind of
You
stuff?
mean like making a new album?
Yeah.
The biggest challenge is probably, I mean, and this is for me talking in terms of doing an entire album, because that's the way that I'm going to be thinking about doing most things like that, is getting all the pieces ready to be able to record in kind of like the shortest time frame possible, because you don't want to spend like an entire day recording each piece, you know?
Yes.
When we recorded our album Immortal in 2014, I think.
I love that one, yeah.
And I think we did that in 2 days. I mean, they were like long sessions on those 2 days, but it's still like we made sure we did everything in 2 days, because otherwise, you know, you start getting into, oh my gosh, it's so much like...
Yeah, overwhelming.
It becomes really expensive, and then just scheduling is crazy. So like, I mean, if you can afford it and you can do more days, good on you. But I think for your own peace of mind, it's actually better to be able to do it in fewer days, because you don't want to spend an entire day recording one piece. Like, you'll just drive yourself crazy.
Yep.
So that comes with its own set of challenges. Like, you have to make sure that the pieces you're choosing, you're able to record them all in 2 days. And that's kind of the challenge that I'm coming up with right now, because I've been trying to put together a new album of virtuoso pieces. And like, okay, if they're going to be like really technical, intense pieces, I got to make sure that I can play them all multiple times in a 2 day span, right?
Exactly.
So picking your pieces really carefully so that you don't kill yourself, and you make sure that you have the stamina through them. And then just knowing how to record, like what order to do them in. I remember when we started recording Immortal, I made sure that we started recording with like the piece that was kind of like the simplest and that I was the most comfortable with, so that I could just like feel warmed up, you know, and not feel like I'm getting into something uncomfortable from the very beginning. So like having a plan that way, and then having a strategy for like, you know, are we going to record this by playing through it 10 times, or are we going to play through it twice and then take 2 halves and record each of those halves like 5 times, or, you know, what's the plan? Like having a plan that way, because you, like I said, you can just drive yourself crazy, and you can get over actually having too much material. And now I always err on the side of like, I'm afraid that I'm gonna have too little, because I run into that problem a couple of times where like we only had maybe 3 takes of one spot that I'm like needed like 2 more takes of it, because it's just like our problem that we ran into actually was that there was background noise, because we recorded in a church, and so every so often a train goes by or a truck by or a motorcycle goes by or something, and you completely lose that take.
Oh no.
Because so we had two problems. We had that, and then there was something with one of the pedals on the piano that it kept creaking.
Oh.
And so like had to eliminate any of the tracks that had creaking pedal or had some sort of like, truck driving by. And so suddenly we're left with like a whole like lot less material.
Wow.
And that was frustrating. So we ended up recording a lot of the album from like 10 p.m. to 3 in the morning just because there were fewer cars on the road at that time.
Wow.
So yeah, there's this whole set of challenges. Like you just need to have a plan. And when you're going into a recording project like that for the first time, it's always really scary because you have no idea what it's going to be like. And then the whole part of editing the tracks was another, oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about that.
Yes, it's usually the most painstaking.
Like, we'd be like, this is perfect. Oh, we can't use that because there's a truck. Like,
like, if there's a truck, let it go by a couple more times and make it a special effect.
You can like get rid of those problems by using a recording studio, but then you run into like, it can cost $100, $200 an hour to use a recording studio. So, if you have the money to do that, fine, but most of us don't. I think a lot of people seem to think that I have a lot of money based on the things that they ask me for. Like, ask me if I'll send them new instruments, or if I'll do this for them, or if I'll, like, buy them plane tickets. And so I'm like, I'm a musician and I don't have any money.
That's true. And also many people don't realize how expensive it is to actually produce video, even if the way that you did it kind of like on your own budget, like people just helped, just volunteered their service. Still, there's so much to pay for: the tools, the technology, and even just the time, the editing time. You want to be able to,
It was a very relatively inexpensive project. I think I paid the dancer probably the most because I wanted to make sure that she was like paid well for her time, because Oliver, Jonathan, and I were obviously like volunteering our time, but then we had to pay for use of the venues and for the equipment and then hair and makeup and everything. But that even in itself, I think came to like $1,000 to produce it, and that was cheap. Like that was really cheap to put this together.
Yes.
You can run up like $5,000-$6,000 just for a videographer.
Easy. I can feel that now. I'm producing 2 videos. One of them's coming out on Halloween too, and it's with Bridget. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, we're zombies.
Or the surprise?
It's kind of like people know about it, but they don't know what it's gonna look like. So.
Have you said what piece it is, or?
It's cover of Lindsey Sterling's Underground, but we're going like actually underground in like a tunnel with ripped up clothes and blood all over it. So I can't wait. It's gonna be so cool. Okay, guys, go ahead, like the video. Go to check out Danse Macabre on Chloe's YouTube. Check it on Instagram.
I think if you just put in Chloe Trevor on YouTube,
Chloe Trevor.
I'm pretty sure it's like the first one of the first videos of mine that comes up. So you can put in Chloe Trevor violin. You can put in Chloe Trevor and literally just the word dance, and it'll come up. No matter how you spell it, it'll come up. So it's really easy to find. Be like, I don't know where the link is. Just literally search my name. And it's
I've had the pleasure of misspelling it like 5 times this week. And how many ways can you misspell dance? But I did it. There goes points for creativity. So since the video came out, that was 4 years ago, right? What would you say kind of like happened like in your career? What would be the main thing that changed the kind of like lesson out of all of this? So since we're coming back to this video, kind of like a concluding a cycle, right? What would you say has changed, the major thing?
Well, making that video was really a huge leap of faith. Like I said, it was very last minute, very we don't know what we're doing kind of thing. And I am the kind of person that I procrastinate, or I wait, or I don't start projects because I don't feel ready. I'm that kind of person that I'm like, no, I can't do this until like I really know what I'm doing, or until I'm prepared, and because I don't know if that's like a fear of failure or if it's just like a perfectionistic tendency or like what it is exactly, but I'm like, I don't want to do something unless I know that I know that I know what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah.
And that video kind of a lesson for me that told me you can't do that. If you have an idea, you just have to do it and learn along the way, which I feel like maybe it was kind of how I was raised or how, like, it's kind of like in the classical music world, you're like taught not to do that. You're taught not to go into something unless you're ready, you know, like don't perform this piece until you've practiced it for 2 years, or like don't do this, don't learn along the way. That's irresponsible, right? And so like I had this just thing in my head, this impression that it's like, you can't, that's irresponsible to do, you can't do that, that's wrong, you know? And I had to learn through this whole process that no, it's if you put care into what you're doing, even if you're not ready, if you put care and effort and time and sincerity into something, it's okay if you learn while you're doing it. And that was kind of what I had to learn, and what I'm still kind of learning, like with YouTube, because for years I've been saying I want to grow my YouTube channel, I want to start putting out teaching videos, I want to start putting out new music videos, like doing all this stuff.
Me too.
And I keep being, I'm not ready, or being like, I haven't gotten my new like house yet because I've been like, you know, now I own the entire house, but like I've been wanting to move to like a townhome or something and be able to create a studio that I could film. And I kept being like, I don't have a studio to film in, I don't have this, I don't have the equipment, I don't have whatever. And so literally it's been years that I put off doing this stuff. And so like I'm still learning this lesson, but I've been learning it better. There have been a lot more projects, like starting the camp, or doing some concerts that I didn't necessarily feel I would be prepared for, where I just had to kind of be like, just do it. Just do it. Don't worry about it. Like, if you feel passionately about doing something, you just have to go ahead and figure it out while you're doing it, which is really scary. You just have to trust that it's going to work out. And sometimes things are crazy, and sometimes things go, like, not the great, like with the editing, we were like, oh my god, is it going to work, you know? But it's not going to happen if you don't try, and you're never going to be prepared.
That's true.
You're never going to be 100% prepared. And I think a lot of that now it's changing, and I think it's because social media has become such a huge part of our lives as musicians that it never was before, right? Before it was just like, you get ready, you learn the pieces, you play the concerts, and it was very kind of like, this is how this works. But now it's been changing so much. The industry is changing so much. It's just like everything is experimental. Everything is new. Everything's coming up with new stuff. So it's like you almost can't even be prepared if you wanted to be, because everything's changing all the time. So get that in your head, Chloe, in your head, and just go do the thing, you know?
That's true.
And so for me, that's looked like starting the Chloe Trevor Music Academy. It's looked like doing a bunch of projects, recording. I didn't feel like I was ready to do the Immortal recording. I didn't feel like I was ready to do the Danse Macabre recording. I didn't feel, honestly, like I was really ready to do the 92 Keys Adele video that we did.
Oh, so beautiful. I love it.
Even the Xmas album, I didn't feel like I was ready for that either. None of these things, I didn't feel prepared for any of them.
That's true. I feel like you can never be fully prepared, right? Like, I'm trying to prepare for every podcast, but something always does go wrong.
You just know, like, no one can know what life is going to throw at them. So, I've always, you know, I can sometimes get really anxious before one of these new things starts, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to prepare for this, and then I get into it, and you just do it, and it works, or part of it doesn't work, and it's okay, the rest of it works, you know? And like I said, as long as you put care and effort and your time and dedicate yourself to making it successful, it will be. If you just throw it together without, like, intentionality and, you know, really believing in yourself and, like, putting a lot of care into it, then you'll probably still do it. It might not be super successful, though, because it looks sloppy. right?
That's true. There has to be a fine line. Like, I have some friends that are amazing composers, but they tend to sit on their songs for way too long. And when I worked with them on something, I was like, okay, I know you want it perfect, but if we don't get it done by tomorrow, we're not going to get it done. So it's better done than perfect. Totally agree.
There are like stories about Mozart writing some pieces like the night before they were premiered.
Yeah.
Or something. And some of those might be legends and not actually true, but I think some of them are.
Yeah. I imagine so.
It goes along with the same thing, like the whole the Leonard Bernstein quote of like, for success you need two things: a plan and not enough time.
Yeah, that's true, because it pushes
having
you.
A plan, and I think that could go along with feeling unprepared. You can translate not enough time to feeling unprepared. So if you think of it that way, I think that helps. But having the plan, that's what I mean. Like, you can't go into it without a plan. It doesn't mean you have to be fully prepared. It just means you have to have a plan of what you want to do.
That's true. I find it's the same with me. When I go do something, I like to have a plan. I guess it also comes from a classical upbringing. So I like to have everything thought through and the final vision in my head. But then eventually we end up changing everything, and that's okay too. But as long as I have a plan and I go into the studio with a plan, that's good for me. So I feel at peace, like I've done my part, and the rest is more like together we have to figure it out, right? So
a lot of the best genius ideas or compositions or things tend to come up at the last minute anyways. Putting together the Christmas album, I think, was similar. Like, we were still making editing changes to the music the night or sometimes the day of the recording. We're just tweaking stuff, making it better, or changing an idea that we had or something. I didn't get the music until pretty late before the recording, which was fine because I think it then puts like spontaneity into it a bit, because you're just kind of like forced. You don't sit with it like you said. Your composer friends sit on their pieces too long. I didn't get the music like 3-4 months before and just like keep rehashing it. It's just like it's fresh because you have it. New that you're almost forced to be like, you just do it,
Yeah, that's true.
And so putting the album together was a little bit like that, but I think that's probably why it sounds as brilliant as it does. We worked with composer Shane Mickelson on that album. He's also conducting the orchestra for it. His arrangements are amazing. He did the orchestration, and but he and I worked on the violin parts together. He wrote them, and then we kind of like edited them team, which was super fun. And it was good to be able to do that with him. We did that in Utah, and recording the music videos with Trevor was fun. And we found this really cool space event space in Utah, downtown Salt Lake City, to film, and we had a videographer there. He's amazing. Nick Sales usually come up, and photographer, and we just filmed from 5 p.m. to 2 in the morning.
Nice.
So we got out of it. Trevor says that the video should be dropping probably Friday morning.
Ooh, exciting.
It depends on some of the stuff about the album and streaming, but he says maybe Thursday, but probably Friday morning. So definitely go follow 92 Keys on YouTube and
put on
notifications for them. So that you see when our video goes live, because I promise you guys, like,
we're excited.
It's so awesome. Both of them are so awesome. Like, I cannot wait for people to see them. They're gonna be really sweet.
It feels like it's gonna be the most magical thing ever.
Yeah. We have O Come, O Come Emmanuel and God Rest You Merry Gentlemen.
Nice.
I don't know which one he's putting up first.
I guess we'll find out very soon, right? Well, Chloe, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to the show again, sharing your awesome upcoming album with us. And I realized I look like an elf because it's so dark in here. You guys are watching live. Hello. So we're so excited for the video. We're so excited to actually get this goal to 1 million views on Danse Macabre. So guys, go ahead to Chloe's YouTube, type in Chloe Trevor, Danse Macabre, Chloe Trevor violin, Danse Macabre. It's honestly the first video that comes out right now because it's getting so much action on it, and we're working our best. We're sharing. I'm sharing daily. I'm sharing on my Facebook, and yeah, people love it. It's getting quite a few views on my Facebook as well. So go ahead, guys, if you can, share the link, send it to your friends, just like, write up a story about it in your posts, and awesome, that's it. So we can do this. If we team up, we can do anything. That's kind of the power of social media, the power of connection, right? I like to quote Drew Forde, That Viola Kid, who on his interview with us said, it's all about connection. People often forget that. But if we use the connection wisely, then we can achieve anything. We can go viral. We can get the next album released. We can do this, right? So thank you so much, Chloe. We're going to close with playing one of our other songs on the album, Carol of the Bells, one of my favorites. So here we go. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you back. Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, thank you.
Thank you. Here we go.